Yay! Okay, so today is Sunday, November 19th. So welcome, Wild National Area. What I'm going to do is just share some announcements. And directors, feel free to jump in if you feel like I've missed anything. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce my amazing offspring, Valerie, who's going to train tonight. So, all right. So, ladies, just remember Star Quarter ends December 15th. You want to make sure you already start to have some strategies in place. Obviously, we have Black Friday coming up, so you should have already sent out your Black Friday pink sale to your customers. We also have Small Business Saturday and then Cyber Monday. So make sure you've sent out your postcards, you send out your e-cards. Just so each of you know, what I've been training my unit on is obviously sending out the Black Friday pink sale in advance. And then once that sale ends, go ahead and send out your Small Business Saturday sale. So probably at like Friday evening after that sale ends. Then after your Small Business Saturday sale ends on Sunday, go ahead and send out your Cyber Monday sale. Okay. As for, I just have to keep checking back on my notes, make sure I don't miss anything. Jump. So you want to make sure that you pay your balance by December 17th. If you've already paid a deposit, you just have a balance. If you haven't registered yet, you can still get the t-shirt as long as the only option will be that you can pay in full, but pay by December 17th. And after December 17th, if you haven't paid at all, you're going to want to make sure, you're going to want to make sure you pay before the 17th, because then you won't get one of those amazing shirts that you saw in Fall Advance. So you don't want to miss that. Faces, and then the price would be increased. So no one's going to want that. Faces take you places. Your November bracelet, you want to make sure you earn that. Those of you that are on target to earn the Grow bracelet, you would have earned the bracelet in July, August, September, October, and this month, and then you earn your bracelet in December. You get that? The team building challenge. When you have a minimum of at least 2 new business partners added, whoever has the highest number of new business partners in their unit will get a prize from the company. Also, make sure you're doing your book 8, you're doubling downs. You want to make sure you shop in Roya's Boutique. Those of you that were shopping in Roya's Boutique at Fall Advance, feel free to post and everything and share how exciting it was, so everyone else can get on board too. All right. That was really all the announcements I came up with that I thought was happening now. So directors, anything I missed, feel free to unmute yourself, share. I don't know if I covered everything, but whatever you ladies think.
Sounded like you did, Lindsay.
Yay! Thank you. All right. So let me go ahead then, and I will introduce you. You ready? Yay! Okay, so Valerie started building her business in October of 2013. She went to January Jump. You guys, oh my goodness, okay. January Jump, you don't want to miss. Val, maybe you can add more to it. But she had caught the vision, and she had gone from 0 business partners, ladies, to 13 in 2 weeks. She went into DIQ. So she was a sales director come her 1-year anniversary in Mary Kay. She became a sales director less than that. She has been a consistent star consultant in her entire business every single quarter. I am happy to say this. I was going through your old accolades, and I'm like, well, I know this. But then I just started reading it, and she used to be a full-time Montessori teacher. So she is now doing Mary Kay full-time. Yay! All right, she has, Val, I don't know if I can keep track of all these prizes. Okay, So you did all 3 new director programs. You earned 3 rings, $3,000, the Triple Crown ring, and you've earned not 1, not 2, is it 3 cars?
3 cars.
Yay! Okay, good. So please help me welcome my offspring sales director from Plainville, Connecticut, independent sales director, Valerie Cancellieri. Yay!
Thanks, Lindsay, for that great introduction. And you did a great job. We have so many announcements. Oh my gosh. I was taking down notes when you were saying them all. So thank you. So I am so excited, everybody, to train on Chapter 8 in our amazing Miracle Morning book. And to be honest, it was a really great reminder. I have been loving this book. So if you are on this or listening to the playback and have not gotten this book, you definitely want to get it. It's so great. Is there like echoing, or am I just hearing myself echo? Are we good?
I don't hear you, Echo.
Oh, okay. So it's just the voices in my head. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, okay. All right.
It may just be my computer's a little loud, so let me try to turn it down a little bit because I'm on my
fine. Okay. So I want to just start everyone with a couple of my business tips, my top 5 business tips before I get into some of the recording or some of the training for Chapter 8. So one of the biggest things for me going full-time that I also know that would be totally great for anyone who does this part-time, hobby time, is that you really need to make the personal time for yourself when you're running your business. Because Mary Kay is a marathon and not a sprint. And there's times in your business you are going to be sprinting, and there's times in your business you are going to need to hustle. But this is a business that works. This is something like if you are opening up a tire shop and you want it to be a long time, longevity, Mary Kay is the same thing. So in order to do that, you need to take care of your vessel. And I know we talk about this all the time, but it just is so important to work when you're working, when you are rested, and when you're focused, because there's been many times in my business that I have worked and I haven't gotten anything accomplished. And then I have been more tired and I have gone in this roller coaster of things. So I really hope you don't go through that roller coaster and learn the hard way that I did. So it doesn't always have to be when I know when I was working part-time, I would say, oh my gosh, I'm going to do 12 hours of Mary Kay today because I have it off. Well, you can have an amazing, productive 4 hours of Mary Kay than doing 12 hours. And then you don't resent your business, and then you don't get completely burnt out. So I say that to really say that the beauty of this business is that you are allowed to rest. And he talks a lot about that in the book and some of the other chapters about the importance of resting, because in a business like this, you need to be able to be your best self all the time. So that is my number 1 tip, is that you absolutely need to make personal, meaningful time for yourself so you can really enjoy this business when it is time to work. Absolutely make your schedule the day before. 150%. Don't even doubt this. Don't even think you can't do it, because I was like, I don't need to make it. I'll make it in the morning. No, because then when you do it in the morning, you are basically doing what you feel like doing and not doing what you have to do. So my phone goes off at the same time every day, no matter what I'm doing, and I stop and I start making my to-do list for the next day. Now, I might accomplish some of those things in that time because I do it for me in the afternoon, because I learned for me doing the schedule the night before, I'm not as clear anymore basically after 7 p.m. It's pretty bad. But I am very more of a morning person and more afternoon, so that's when I do a lot of my things. So setting an alarm just to make your schedule. And it took me a while, but my alarm still goes off, but I now have this habit, so I know at 3 o'clock I'm setting my schedule and I'm doing it. So I have my notebook in my purse because I like to handwrite it, because I'm still a handwriter for things like that, and I like to make my list. So making your schedule the night before however you need to. All of you tech savvy, I actually do both. I have alarms in my phone, and then I have a handwritten list, okay? But however works for you, you will feel so much more productive and accomplished. I know even if I don't get through my whole list, I don't go to bed upset because I held myself accountable for making the list. Is a huge accomplishment. So definitely doing that. And then the other great tip is I hold myself accountable for my own success. So what that means is no matter what level you are in Mary Kay, if I am not the top person holding skincare classes or doing whatever I need to do in my business because I chose to take this leadership opportunity, it's my responsibility to make sure I'm doing it, because we do have a lot of amazing freedom and flexibility in this business, but you also have to work to get that freedom and flexibility. So I love to make sure that I'm holding myself, my number one person is me in my business for my own success. And then it allows a lot less head trips because it's no one else's control except yours and what you're choosing to do. So that's number 3. And then one of the other things that I love to do is for my 4th tip is to look at every opportunity that happens, whether it be a reschedule, whether it be maybe someone doesn't meet you for coffee that they said they were going to, and just embrace the opportunity and seize that moment and ask yourself, what were you supposed to learn from that moment? What can you do instead? Just really embrace it, because when you treat it with and embrace it, it does a whole thing with your mind, and your day is still continuing to be successful instead of feeling a certain feeling that you might feel if it was like a setback. Or if, for example, your 5-person skincare class turned into a one-on-one facial, how can you embrace that opportunity? How can you pivot it to make it very meaningful for you? So embrace everything that this business gives you, even if it's not what you anticipate or expect all the time. Okay, that has been something that I've really been working on doing, and I have felt that I have gotten a lot of blessings out of it. And then the last thing is, it goes together. I really have 6 things, sorry. Okay, is to always celebrate something. So every day I go to bed with not only making my gratitude list, but I give myself a pat on the back for doing something. Okay, now obviously if I ate bonbons all day and really avoided my to-do list, you cannot celebrate that. But I feel that all of you in this area always do something that deserves a pat on the back. And I feel that we are all such high achievers that sometimes we don't realize the extent of what we really do. And the thing is, you have to recognize the small things every single day, because if this is a marathon, just like you train for a marathon, you got to take it step by step, training by training. So you got to pat yourself on the back every day, going to bed feeling a good feeling of success in this business instead of maybe everything that didn't go the way you wanted to. So always looking for the silver lining every single day. This way you don't take anything personal, okay? I am the queen of taking things personal. Like, I should have a huge tiara all the way to the ceiling, okay? And when I kind of stop taking things personal, or I work on it, this business, it's just so much more fun and so much better, okay? So I hope those were not, I know, like, quote unquote tracking business tips, but I just feel like we are all amazing. I looked at the Wild Air cheering section before I got on. We have had so many great things, and I was just like, woo, go everyone in the wild. So I wanted to give you some tips that really help you in between your activity that will keep you going to your 12-1 goal. Okay, and really quick, I do want to just tell everyone that if you know somebody who is not going to January Jump, okay, I'm going to give you the 2-minute version. I literally went to January Jump reading the Mary Kay Ash book on the plane, going, who is Roya and why is everyone obsessed with this woman? Literally, that is what I said. She knows, it's fine. And then I left having the biggest woman crush on Roya Mattis, okay? So long story short, if you know somebody who is not going to jump, or if you personally are not going to jump, I cannot explain to you in words what you get from jump. I cannot explain to you the transformation that happened. I was not easy to work with in the very, very beginning. Lindsay can probably very vouch for that. I was really unwilling to probably listen to why I should go to jump, but something in my gut and my heart told me I should get on that plane. I knew nobody. I was going to no meetings. anything. And then I just went to jump and I left. And then that was when I really fell in love with the company and the sisterhood. And then that was how I got to where I am today. So you guys, you just never know where you're going to get your calling. And think of all the money that you have spent in your higher education, in your associate's degree, in your bachelor's degree. And we never question that. And we always question when we have to do things like conferences and things. And I have never missed any Mary Kay conference whatsoever. I mean, I've flown to seminar and been there for 12 hours and left. And I was doing Montessori work while I was there. So I just say this with an open heart that you guys need to really look at how amazing of an investment these things are when we have an amazing business like Mary Kay, because it really does pay off so much. So that is my selling point for January Jump. So I can't wait to see you all there. Okay, so now let's get into chapter 8 really quickly. So really quick, I absolutely loved the quote that he talked about. And he says, this chapter is all about presenting the products and the opportunity. So basically, this is really where we come into our career surveys. And I loved how a national called it dream sessions, the career surveys that we are talking about when you're meeting with someone and really presenting the opportunity to them. So one of the things that they taught, he started, the quote started with, nobody who bought a drill actually wanted a drill, they wanted a hole. So therefore, if you want to sell drills, you should advertise information about making holes, not information about making drills. I was like, oh my gosh, we not only sell a product that makes our skin absolutely beautiful, which then increases confidence, but there is a way that we present the product. And I think this is one of the things that I love doing, is that we have such a personal touch. And when you really are thinking about making every single woman at that kitchen table feel important, you are presenting a product with a level of confidence that a lot of women don't feel ever. And we are spoiled in our pink bubble, where sometimes we forget how women are either not used to being complimented. You know, if they're sitting there in front of their mirror kind of quiet, it just might mean that they're shy because they haven't had someone as positive as you around them. So they're just not used to it. So we have such a blessing in our business. Now, I was at a vendor event today, just a small house one for like a holiday thing. And, you know, a lot of other vendors, I'm not saying anything bad, but what I'm saying is our product comes with such a specialty. You know, like anyone can do products and say, here's a beautiful this or here's a beautiful that, and it's great for here and there. But our business is an art, and you guys are like the artists of our business, and you literally let women leave feeling amazing all the time. Whether they're a one-time customer, whether they're someone who's a long-term customer, you left making one woman or 10 women feel absolutely amazing that day. And as they're walking around after that skincare class, right, they look in the mirror after that class, or they pull down their mirror in their car and they're like, oh my God, my skin is so soft. So just remember, when we're talking about our products, it's more than just the amazing cleansers that we have. Women are looking to feel gorgeous on the outside because there's something happening on the inside. And that is what we are talking about. So that is why it's so important that we have that enthusiasm when we are talking about skincare classes. We are not burdening anybody with this. You know, today a lot of people are talking about just like old Mary Kay products, because a lot of them had old consultants and lost them. So I just had all my demo, and I didn't even talk too much. I was like, yeah, go put that in the bathroom. Go try this. Go try that. And they were like, oh, I love it. You know, so we have such an amazing product that really speaks for itself. So let's get into it a little bit. So basically, the first question I'm going to ask you is, are you sold out on this company? And are you sold out on Mary Kay? And are you sold out in knowing that this can work? I'm not talking about are you sold out that our cleansers really do work, because we all know that they do. Because I mean, I know I look like I'm 20. All right, let's be real, people. And I've been using it for 12 years. So anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But the real question is, are you sold out? Because when you are sold out on your Mary Kay business and your products, no matter what people say to you, no matter what objections you get, it doesn't matter, because you're sold out and your choo-choo train is going no matter what. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, are you sold out? And if it's a definite yes with an exclamation mark, that's great. And if for some reason you're not sure if you're sold out, you really need to figure out what it is. as to why you're not sold out, and maybe ask your director, talk to her, so you can be 100% sold out in this business, okay? You have to be so sold out. Okay, and then a couple of things. So I'm just going to go through. I did a lot of note taking in this. A couple of things that I totally love too is that they talk about when you are going to present the opportunity. Okay, and I do say this to my girls in my unit a lot. So I want everyone to know that when you are presenting the Mary Kay opportunity, there is no right or wrong way if you are presenting it from your heart. So if you are sold out on this business, and even if you joined yesterday, there is something that you are excited about in this opportunity that you saw that you can share with somebody else as to why you sold it. So your director is not necessarily better skilled at presenting the marketing in Mary Kay. Granted, it does take time and studying, okay? So, if you do have to study it a little. So a lot of what they talk about is, you do the trainings just like we do in the career surveys. Now, the biggest thing is at our success meetings, we know we give our I stories a lot. Okay, but my first year in Mary Kay, I could have repeated to you guys the I stories of the directors that gave those meetings. And let me tell you, when I was nervous in my skincare classes, I inserted my name into some of those I stories. Okay, like I just did. And it's a lot of what Roya talked about at Fall Advance, but you have to hear it. So that's why when you're at those success events and you're listening to your director give her I story, I don't care if you're like, oh my God, I've heard this a million times. I already know the bad joke that Val's going to say. Well, good. So now when you are giving your I story and you get a little bit nervous maybe in front of the people to talk about it, you now are going to imagine the bad joke that Val said and you're going to say it and then you're going to start laughing and it's going to be amazing. Okay. So it really imprints on you. Like I could seriously, because Brianne would give her I story all the time when we used to do meetings at the hotels, I could still give her I story in my sleep because I just listened attentively every single time on how she overcame objections and how she talked about the trips and everything. I could like tell you Roya's, well, not all of her accolades, but I still listen intently at all the events because it's just such a great learning experience. So we do that not only to help your guests see the bigger picture, but it's also a training because we help as directors that this blesses you guys to really feel confident when you are talking to somebody about the opportunity. Because when someone approaches you for the business opportunity, when I decided I wanted to go into DIQ, there was times, even though I was kind of still new, I couldn't always rely on Lindsay because, she has a lot of things going on and your director has her own personal business. And it's important for you guys to be empowered. We want to empower you. So when you are talking about the business, just know that if you are talking from your heart about the business and some of the facts, and we now with the flip chart, the amazing sheets that Roya created for us on royamattis.com, consultant resources, flip chart, the starter kit flyer, and the What Women Want, if you just bring those and talk to someone from your heart about the business, that is all the tools that you really need. Okay. And one of the great things that we're so lucky is in our book here, they talk a lot about presentations because that is the network marketing type of business that they do. Our presentations are our skincare classes. And Mary Kay Ash was a genius when she thought about this because they first meet you in the beginning with a little bit about yourself, and then they try the product. And then throughout the skincare class, people are kind of watching you wondering like, okay, this woman is like telling me what to do. She's really fun. I'm loving the products. And then you get a little bit more about the opportunity, right? And then you book them either for a survey or you recruit them on the spot. So there's so much layering and connections with stories. So you sell with stories, okay? You educate with facts, but at the end of the day, women all want the same thing. And if you have been having skincare classes and really meeting women, there's a craving, especially now with this support and this positivity and this feeling of empowerment. So many women don't have it and they just want it. Okay, they may not even really need the extra money, but there's something about Mary Kay that they want. And you, as a consultant, have this amazing ability to change someone's life. And I know we hear it all the time. So when you are making the decision because you're nervous to think, they may not be interested, or I'm not going to give my iStory today, or I'm not going to do ticket marketing. You have just decided for 1 to 5 women that they don't deserve the Mary Kay opportunity. You just decided for them. So imagine the skincare class that you went to and that consultant was just feeling a certain way that day. She would have decided your future for you. So I really want you to think about that. And I don't mean to be a little bit harsh, but it's the truth. You don't have the right to say, I'm not going to talk to you about this opportunity, because we have an opportunity. And if you just assume somebody doesn't want it based on their interactions at the skincare class, they could just be a super introvert and love how they look and want to scream inside, but they're just so nervous because all their friends are around. So I just really, really encourage everybody to just kind of remember that. Say, I don't have the right not to pass this on. So you really need to be sold out. I mean, people sometimes think, they're like, why is this girl so excited? I mean, I'm just so sold out on Mary Kay. You know, I have people telling me, you quit your teaching job? You got your master's for this? I say, oh yeah. Like, I look at them like they're crazy. Like, yeah, of course I did. And then I say, like, there is so much more to it. And then I start explaining to them. I say, I mentor women. I teach them. I take my position very serious. How I am with my unit and my sister sales directors, you know, I take it very serious. And then because I'm sold out, I don't care if they are judging me for a hot second, because I shut them up real fast because I am sold out. So I'm asking in a loving way, okay, with facts and love, okay? But you have to have that power, because people are going to have their opinions, you know, and people are going to say, oh, you do this. Yeah, I do this. Have you been driving free for 3 years? Like, you and I should talk, because we have this amazing opportunity. So you have to get to that point of excitement. Okay. So it's really exciting. And I know everyone that is on this call absolutely can get that excitement. And sometimes we just need to get a little out of our comfort zone. Okay. Because sometimes it is a little intimidating to be excited. You're opening up, you're showing vulnerability. I get that, but you just don't know whose life you're going to change. And, you know, I present the opportunity all the time. And when someone just says no and starts doing some objections and everything, it's okay. I hear what she has to say. I sometimes don't try to fight it. I'll book a survey with her after, but I know I presented it with her. I complimented her. I told her why I chose her, why I thought she would be a good consultant. I mean, there's nothing that could have gone wrong in that conversation. Okay, and she left feeling like, wow, she thinks all those amazing things about me. Now, obviously, they're sincere compliments. Okay, that's the other thing. We choose who we work with in Mary Kay. So if you do not think they would be a good consultant, do not offer them the opportunity, because you will be working with them and you will be mentoring them. So you all know some of the high qualities to look for in a consultant. Like, we're all not that desperate. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So you want quality and someone who is just willing to work with you and willing to maybe grow, or just someone that you see, like I see a lot of, I was not obviously like this 4 years ago, but there was something that Lindsay obviously saw that I could have grown from. She saw there was growth that I was coachable. Okay. So anyway, so the other thing that I thought was really great, so the art of presenting that he talks a little bit about, and he says that all the things that you are worrying about during your presentation in your head are not real. Okay. So we have all these emotions and these feelings that we create sometimes, and they're not real. So you just need to just know that no matter how you feel you are in your skincare class, or these amazing new ideas that are coming out, it doesn't matter. Just do your style, present the product, be shut down on it, okay, and just do it from the heart. And the more you do it, the more you're going to learn it and change it. You know, I still stumble over things during my skincare classes, just because it shows genuine realness. Sorry, I can't think. But because if they think that you are perfect, then they're going to think that they can't do this business. And honestly, I recruited a girl last night, and I basically just told her, I said, literally anybody can do this business. if you are willing to learn the materials that Mary Kay has in store for you, and you're willing to work with your mentor, then yes, Victoria, this is still Miracle Morning Book, so sorry, I'm reading the chat. You absolutely can do this business, okay? So that is the empowering thing about our business, because it's a real business. So just be shut down on that, because your job is to connect right now. So in the meantime, while you're going out and recruiting, okay, and maybe doing surveys with or without your director, while you're doing those surveys, your job is to connect her or him to your director. You are like the bridge, okay? Because your director ultimately will be training her to be a successful consultant, okay? So she needs to feel connected to your director, who she may or may not has ever met before. So, because she is going to be getting trained by her. So that's why we say you have to say how amazing your director is, no matter what, no matter how you feel, because at the end of the day, that is going to work in your benefits. Okay? And as your mentor, we know you don't love us all the time. And that's okay, because as the mentor, I didn't sign up to tell you things you want to hear all the time, because when we are told things we want to hear all the time, we don't get done what we need to get done. Okay? And that is a fact. So you do your little cry and then you get over it. That's what I always do. It's amazing. Okay. So it's great because you grow from it. But the biggest thing is connecting with her so she feels connected to you and is now connected to your dream, the dream that you are shut down on, that she is now a part of. And you know, at New Director Ed, they said this amazing thing to us that's still stuck in my head. And I know Kristen's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. They said that when you decide to quit, you don't know whose other dream you are now taking down with you. So if you decide to quit this opportunity or not give it a try, you now just took down whoever was following you or potentially could have followed with you and their dreams too. Think of how many of our dreams are attached to Roya. Imagine if Roya quit, or she quit 10 years ago. Okay, so that could be you. Think of your director. How many dreams are attached to her dream? Okay, so I really want you to take that and own that, because now with this opportunity, you now have a responsibility to keep going, because you are now connected to other people. So you need to connect with her being the recruiter, but you also need to connect her to your director, because I don't always recruit girls in my unit, but they feel connected to me right away because my unit does an amazing job blowing me up as amazing. Okay, so because they trust me now, because they're starting something that's scary. They're instilling trust in someone they don't know. And you, being that bridge, know your director and this girl. So that's what we rely on you as. So I hope that really clarify some things for everyone who is super excited now and feels more empowered to do surveys and more face-to-face, because you guys are totally equipped in presenting this opportunity. The other thing is that they talk about is to study. We talk a lot about this. Just like anything that you do in your life, why is Mary Kay any different? Why is it any different? If there is someone who you have been girl crushing on and stalking on Facebook, or guy crushing on, because we have amazing guy consultants in the Wild area now, okay, and you're like, what are they doing? It's so amazing. Ask them to go with them to their appointments. Ask them to listen in on their surveys. You know, we get sometimes so caught up in comparing and not having tunnel vision and saying, well, she's has better brown hair than my brown hair, so she's a better DIQ than me, or whatever. I don't even know if that made sense. Point is, okay, if I see someone is doing an amazing skill that I might lack, that I inspire, instead of beating myself up, then I now want to study what they're doing. I want to befriend them. I want to be in their space. Okay, and I want to see what they're doing. So, and that's what people do at all levels. When Chris and I went to New Director Ed, you know, there was amazing achievers there, and we took advantage of that. We went and talked to her. We complimented her. You know, it was a great learning experience. And through those conversations, you're going to learn there's a lot of things you're doing right. And you're going to learn that when you're doing those things right, it's going to instill more confidence in your business, and you're going to keep doing them. Okay, so I really empower you to, you don't always have to shadow your director. Find someone else that you have maybe been connecting with or been watching their success on Facebook and shadow them. You know, that is totally what our family is all about. If they're not local, then maybe ask them if they can have a FaceTime with you and just have an awesome, empowering conversation and start having a power partner. They don't have to be where you live or even in your unit. Okay, that is the beauty of this business. The other thing that they talk about is visualize presentation success. So at this point, hopefully we're all doing some kind of the Lifesavers and Miracle Morning portion of our morning and already visualizing amazing things. But maybe visualize how you need to look during the presentation. So I actually, this was the second paragraph under that. I was visualize presentation success. And he said, remember that visualization becomes far more powerful while being specific. Don't just picture yourself giving a skincare class. What are you saying exactly? How is your tone? How is your body language during your skincare class? How are you connecting with your hostess the minute she opens the door? How are you welcoming all her friends because you're there on time and everything's set up and you're saying, oh my gosh, Danielle, yes, we talked over text. I'm Valerie. So nice to finally meet you in person. Okay, this is your little setup right here. Connecting with them right away. During your skincare class, when you're holding your flip chart, are you covering it so it's covering your face? Or are you glancing at it because you've done your homework and you've studied the flip chart? So you have maybe now your sticky notes so you can still make really good eye contact with your audience. Okay, so it's all in the art of presentation. So just like a college class, just like if you had to get a certain certification for your JOB, Mary Kay is the same thing. Okay, we need to treat it the same way. So if you did a couple skincare classes and you realize maybe you don't know the flip chart as well, then take an hour, a couple hours, video yourself doing a couple of the pages. It's hard to do. Okay, it is like the hardest thing is to watch yourself. But when you do watch yourself, just remember that's how people are seeing you. So then you have to ask yourself, would someone want to have your job? Right? So if you are trying to recruit and build a family in your personal unit. So these are things that you have to do in your business. Mary Kay is no different. It's fun. It makes us pretty. We have great empowerment, but we still have to treat it with studying. Okay? So systems and things don't matter if you don't have the skills and the study down to kind of a science. Okay, you get what I'm saying, and treating this very seriously. So, and it's not a matter of if it's a good class. It's just if you watch it and you feel confident in your presentation, then it's a good presentation. If what you want to have and make women feel comes across in your presentation, then your skincare class is good. Does that make sense? It's not a matter of what's good or bad. You just have to see how you are presenting. Okay, a couple more things that I took note for that I felt were really great that I really wanted everyone just to kind of hear is that I talked about that already. Awesome. Okay. He talks a lot about, so this is also why Mary Kay Ash was amazing. He always talks about be ready with a story because stories sell. Well, aren't we lucky because we have iStories, and we've had iStories since Mary Kay Company started 54 years ago because she was amazing, thebomb.com. Did you guys know she was the woman entrepreneur in American history? Like, woo! Like, oh my God, she has so many awards, and she's in the top 20 most influential women book with like Mother Teresa on the chapter of integrity. Okay, so anyway, so we are so lucky, okay, that we give stories throughout our meetings, our success meetings, and our skincare classes. So don't be afraid to let everybody know, what is your story? Okay, why are you doing Mary Kay? What are some of the things you've used your Mary Kay money for? What are some of the things I tell everyone all the time? I say, I was not this person 4 years ago, and I tell them that, and they laugh, and I kind of make fun of myself a little bit because it's humor and whatever, because that's just my personality. But I always make time for marketing. Okay, I always make time for stories, because when they are putting that charcoal mask on their face, the minute the amazing peppermint hits their face, okay, or spearmint, sorry, or honeysuckle or navy bean, whatever, they've already decided if they like the product. Okay, so I'm not trying to sell them on the product that they've already decided they like the minute it touches their face. I am trying to connect with them. So while these things are happening, I'm listening to them as they're doing satin hands. I'm getting to know my audience and figuring out ways I can connect with them. Okay, so this is where this is so exciting, because you really want to have some stories ready that will connect with your audience. So if they are all women who work inside in offices, you need to think to a time when you, like, how would this business and a story you've had relate to them? Because people connect with stories. No matter how digital and technology advanced we get, okay, we as human beings will always connect with stories. And the way things are going, women are going to want and crave these skincare classes and the ability to touch cosmetics, because things are not always going to be that's not always going to be a choice for them through stores, because everything's going online. That this is going to be a prime opportunity for us to connect with women. Okay, so just figure out, what do you want your story to be? Okay, and everyone's story should be different. Okay, your story should not be the same as somebody else's, because there are so many women in Mary Kay that if we all were the same, it wouldn't be Mary Kay. And that's why we all love Mary Kay, is because someone who's as scatterbrained as me can finally learn sometimes how to not be so scatterbrained, and I can still get along with someone who, like, schedules every single thing and has a system for everything, and we're all still successful. And that is the beauty of Mary Kay. So women deserve this. And I'll tell them, I'll go, I just feel bad for women who don't have Mary Kay. I go, what do they do? Like, how do they survive? How do they hear the news and function throughout the day without my pink bubble? Like, I don't know what I would do. So, I mean, you got to have a shutdown mentality like that. So figure out, what is your story? What story do you want to create? What legacy do you want to create? You know, and you don't have to, everyone doesn't have to love your story. Wrinkles to them if they don't love it, but there's going to be someone who's going to love your story, and that's the person that's going to matter, that you connect with. Okay, so along with telling your own story, it's really important to listen to other people's story, because they also want to be heard. So you need to make some time to listen to the women at that skincare class so you can really know where they're coming from. Okay, so when you are doing the close, you might already know how you're going to approach that close, because you heard a couple of things about her. You know, you listen to how she talked to her friends. You listen to how the hostess treated her friends. You've got to listen to some key things during the skincare class, so you don't always have to worry about always talking. And that was really hard for me. I'm sure you all can understand that. So sometimes it's good to not talk and let them talk amongst themselves for a little while, so you can really understand the crowd you're with. Okay. And then finally, when you are shut down, handling your objections is going to be a lot easier. So yes, it does take time to study and how to overcome objections, okay? But at the end of the day, if you're talking from your heart and you're really listening and making a connection, and you're shut down on what Mary Kay can do for somebody, you're naturally and organically going to overcome their objections. So if someone says to you, oh my gosh, I don't have the time for Mary Kay, and they just give you their whole laundry list, you just sit there, you nod, you listen, and then you ask permission for some feedback, and then you just speak from your heart. Because I'm sure there was a time in your life that you could have given your recruiter a laundry list as well. Okay, so there always doesn't have to be a script. Yes, you can have your objections thing in front of you just to give you some key points and ideas that are very key to hit, but you don't want to just read from it. You want to be able to speak from your heart while using that information that is given for you. So, so that is one of the biggest things that you want to do. And then finally, just to make sure that, sorry, I just wrote down some notes that I wanted to. Okay, yes, and finally, just making sure that you're really studying your product. Okay, so I know I've already said this a lot, but that tags along with going to big events or events that we put on. So when you immerse yourself, like at things like January Jump or Fall Advance or Career Conference or Seminar, you sometimes you do the studying, but sometimes you don't have to do as much, because when you immerse yourself in an environment that you hear all this education in such a short period of time, you absorb it a lot quicker than if you were to watch a couple videos here and there, which are still good to do, but really studying and treating this business like it's your degree, because it is. And from someone who has degrees, this degree has paid me a lot more than the degrees that I just did just to do, okay? Because the things that I have learned and invested in, I have been able to apply the minute my eyes open in the morning to the minute that I go to bed at night. And I feel that a lot of my girlfriends that are around my age, I feel that I have a lot more fulfillment in the things that I do as opposed to what they do, just because of the beauty of the resources that we have in this business and just the idea of things that we've been presented to because of opportunities that you should say yes to. So, so when you are presenting your product, just make sure that you feel confident during your skincare class, that you are feeling empowered as a recruiter, but making sure it comes down to being shut down on this business. I'm not saying you have your ups and down days. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you ultimately think of the Mary Kay opportunity, that you know no matter what obstacle comes, you know this business works and you're shut down on it, and you're going to wake up tomorrow and do it again and get up one more time because you know that this is a business that works. So, oh, okay. I couldn't read the comments while I was training because you all know how I am, because I would have been like, la, 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 la. Okay, so we have a little bit extra time. So if anybody has any questions, I know I kind of went a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to make Chapter 8 kind of relate to us because we don't really give PowerPoint presentations, you know what I mean? So I kind of wanted to relate to us. So does anyone have any questions for me? Anything about doing surveys or connecting or anything that I can help you guys with? And you guys are so amazing with your comments. I want to take a picture and read them later. I'm doing that, by the way. Okay.
Hey, Val. I just wanted to say that you did an amazing job. You got everyone pumped up. I was sitting here going like, oh my goodness, I wish it was daytime. I could go out and work right now.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lindsay. I know, I was telling them, I was like, I definitely was not like this at the skincare class you met me at. So you have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
I know. When I was watching you, I'm sitting off to the side because I'm on the laptop for this, and I'm sitting off to the side, and I'm like, that is not the Val I met years ago. So,
definitely not.
No. You had a lot of personal growth, so I'm very excited for you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I just need public speaking and all that, you know.
Oh, I know, girl. I know.
All right. Anyone have any questions for Val before we end tonight? Or any affirmations? Everyone has to be affirmed at every level.
Val, this was so full of love and life and just, it was totally you. This chapter was made for you. So I know that, you know, when you talk about connection, you are a master at that. No one would be able to train better than you. I watched in awe while we were in Dallas. I'm like, wow, she is serious about connecting with people. Every person has something you say to them that's genuine and true. And that connection is going to build you to that pink Cadillac fast, baby. So I'm excited for you. Yes.
Thanks, Kristen.
You're welcome, honey. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you guys are so sweet with all your typing. I took pictures, I'm not going to lie.
You do not want to miss anything, Val. All right.
I don't want to miss anything.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and close for the evening. Thank you all so much for being on tonight. And Val, thank you so much for your training.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lindsay. I hope everyone has a fabulous night.
Bye.